a private funeral service for Murder Incorporated, co-founder of Gotti, was held Wednesday, February 19 at the Greater Allen AME Cathedral of New York. The service, though intimate, saw an outpouring of love and respect from those whose lives Gotti had touched throughout his influential career in the music industry. It was a somber yet deeply heartfelt gathering, one that reflected not just on his passing but on the powerful legacy he left behind. Among those in attendance, according to TMZ, were Murder Incorporated artists Ja Rule, Ashanti, Lloyd, Charlie Baltimore, and Vita. These were not just artists signed to his label but individuals who had become like family to him over the years. Gotti had played an instrumental role in shaping their careers, guiding them through the highs and lows of the music industry, and ultimately turning them into household names. Each of them owed a significant part of their success to his unwavering belief in their talent. Also present at the service, in addition to Gotti's family, were some of the biggest names in the industry, people who had walked alongside him through the decades, witnessing his rise and impact firsthand. Jay-Z, seated in the front row, exuded a quiet but profound grief, his presence speaking volumes about the bond they had shared. Media personality Gayle King, longtime friend and fellow hip-hop mogul Fat Joe, industry executive Steve Stout, music video and film director Hype Williams, fellow director Benny Boom, and radio personality/podcaster Angie Martinez were all there, paying their final respects to a man who had been a defining force in hip-hop. An emotional Ja Rule, whose career had been intrinsically linked with Gotti's, took to the podium to deliver the eulogy. His voice, though heavy with emotion, carried the weight of love, gratitude, and deep sorrow. A clip of his speech later surfaced on social media, capturing the raw intensity of the moment. "I won't take up any more time," said the rapper as he stood before the mourners, his usual confidence softened by grief. "I just want to say, Irv, I love you. Everyone in this room loves you. You touched everybody in your own way, and everybody has their moments of that with you. We're all here in celebration of your life because it will live on forever. I love you, my brother. See you when I get there." The words hung in the air, resonating deeply with those in attendance, many of whom could be seen wiping away tears. It was a sentiment that encapsulated the profound loss that the hip-hop community was experiencing. Gotti was not just a record executive. He was a visionary, a mentor, and above all, a brother to those who had walked the journey with him. Gotti died on February 5 at the age of 54 after suffering a stroke. His sudden passing sent shockwaves throughout the music industry, leaving many struggling to come to terms with the reality of a world without him. His impact, however, was undeniable. In the wake of his success in helping to bring DMX to Def Jam, a move that would later prove to be a turning point for the label, Gotti and his brother Chris co-founded Murder Incorporated. Records in 1998. The label's name, inspired by the infamous crime syndicate of the same name, was fitting in many ways. It embodied a rebellious spirit, a willingness to go against the grain, and a relentless pursuit of greatness. As an imprint of the pioneering hip-hop label Def Jam, Murder Incorporated quickly rose to prominence, solidifying itself as a powerhouse within the industry. Ja Rule, one of the label's first signees, became its flagship artist. Under Gotti's guidance, he flourished, releasing hit after hit and becoming one of the most recognizable voices of the early 2000s. But Gotti's vision extended beyond just hip-hop. He had an innate ability to recognize raw talent and transform it into something extraordinary. This was evident in his discovery of a teenage singer named Ashanti, whom he signed and helped mold into an R&B superstar. Her self-titled debut album, which featured hits like Foolish and Happy, became a defining moment in early 2000s R&B and solidified her as a major force in the industry. Gotti's influence wasn't just confined to the artists he signed, it stretched across the entire industry. Over the course of his career as an executive and creative, he logged producer credits on 28 charting Billboard Hot 100 hits, a feat that spoke to his undeniable ear for music. His production and creative genius touched artists such as Ja Rule, Ashanti, DMX, Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, Fat Joe, and even Kanye West. His ability to craft a hit, to bring out the best in an artist, and to shape the sonic landscape of an era was unparalleled. He wasn't just a behind-the-scenes figure. He was a force to be reckoned with, someone whose presence could be felt in every beat, every lyric, and every melody he helped bring to life. Beyond his music industry accolades, Gotti was a man of resilience. He faced his fair share of battles, including legal troubles and public scrutiny, but he never let those challenges define him. Instead, he fought through them, emerging stronger and more determined than ever. His legacy isn't just about the music he helped create, it's about the indomitable spirit he carried with him throughout his life. He was a hustler, a dreamer, and above all, a believer in the power of music to change lives. As the funeral service came to a close, there was an unspoken understanding among those in attendance. Though Gotti was no longer physically present, his legacy would never fade. His contributions to hip-hop were etched in history, his influence woven into the fabric of the genre itself. The stories shared, the tears shed, and the music played in his honor were all testaments to the impact he had made. In the days following his passing, tributes poured in from across the industry. Artists, producers, executives, and fans alike took to social media to share their memories, their heartbreak, and their gratitude. Many credited Gotti with shaping their careers, with giving them a shot when no one else would, with believing in them even when they doubted themselves. He was more than just a record executive. He was a mentor, a friend, and a pillar of the hip-hop community. Irv Gotti's story is one of triumph, of perseverance, and of an unyielding passion for music. He leaves behind a legacy that will continue to inspire generations to come. Though his time on this earth was cut short, his impact is everlasting. And as those closest to him said their final goodbyes at the Greater Allen AME Cathedral of New York, one thing was certain: Irv Gotti's name, his music, and his influence will never be forgotten. Gotti was born Irving Domingo Lorenzo Jr. on June 26, 1970, in the Hollis neighborhood of Queens, New York City. From a young age, he was immersed in a diverse array of musical influences, thanks in large part to his family's deep love for music. His parents, Irving Sr. and Nene, had a particular fondness for Motown, and the sounds of soul and Randy B often filled their home. It was within this environment that Gotti developed an appreciation for the power of music and its ability to bring people together. Growing up in Hollis, a neighborhood with a rich history in hip-hop, Gotti was surrounded by the burgeoning hip-hop culture. The neighborhood had already produced influential groups such as Run DMC and LL Cool J, and it was within this vibrant scene that Gotti found his calling. He began DJing at local parties and events, honing his skills and developing an ear for what moved the crowd. It was during these formative years that he realized his true passion lay in the creation and production of music. Gotti's journey in the music industry began as a DJ, but he quickly transitioned into production. He formed a partnership with his childhood friend and fellow DJ, DJ Clue, and the duo began producing mixtapes that showcased their unique sound. Their mixtapes gained traction, catching the attention of industry insiders and leading to opportunities to work with established artists. Gotti's reputation as a skilled producer and tastemaker grew, and he soon found himself working with some of the biggest names in hip-hop.